Good morning. You guys hear me? Thank you. Back in 1 minute.
Risk disclosure statement. Deal with the risk of loss security stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, derivatives, options, foreign cryptocurrencies. This risk can be substantial and therefore investors should carefully consider their financial suitability prior to trading. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. The software, strategy, chapter, websites, and any associated websites are digital means for educational purposes only and should not be construed as expressly implied promise or guarantee that you will prompt trade losses may be limited and never forever. Users of the information sexual responsibility for the outcomes of their deployment to all cycles trade, LLC and any associated companies, agents, manager, owners, and customers harmless without preservation. Please trade responsibly. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, Rule 4.41, hypothetical and simulated trading performance results have certain inherent limitations. Some of which are described herein. No representation C in any envelope likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those shown. In fact, there are frequently sharp differences between hypothetical and simulated performance results and the actual results that could be achieved by a particular trading program. One of the limitations of hypothetical performance results is that they are generally prepared to benefit in hindsight. In addition, hypothetical trading does not involve financial risk, and your hypothetical trading requires you to account for the impact of financial risk and actual trading. For example,
Silver ice iceberg sell SI 100 contracts.
Because these trades have not actually been executed, the hypothetical results may handle or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of
Bond ice iceberg sells EB 600 contracts.
Specific trading program which is not fully accounted for in simulated trading or in preparation of hypothetical performance results involved, of which can adversely affect actual trading results.
Alrighty. Got some stuff firing off right away. So I posted this double whammy. Double whammy. So double whammy again is stops, buy stops, or sell stops, depending on which way we're going. But by this instance, it's buy stops into the waiting hands of sell ice. So that's the zone here. Basically just building balance here, but I'm leaning towards this breaking out. You can see yesterday we talked about this market holding the zone. If I can draw our guy. So this is where this directional conviction started. Got some tails here. This is where this launched from. So this was a decent zone. Came up here overnight yesterday or the night before, and then we opened, same thing, directional conviction. So right now, here we are again. So if this is either gonna turn into a double whammy, meaning again, dumb money buy puke into sell ice, it's gonna fail again. If we get above here, then this becomes prior resistance, now it becomes support. So these are the areas you want to be trading, right? And then on here, there was a question last night. Are you on here, IOM, SAW, whatever your, let's see what your name is again. Just call you IOM. Are you on this webinar? So I explain this stuff pretty much every day. So I want to make sure that you understand what I'm talking about here. Yes. All right, so you can see where we're at here in gold. We're just breaking out of this prior composite. So this is when I talk about the edges of composite. There's multiple days, 2 or more days put together. The more days you have, the more powerful this is, right? The value area, market profile value area. So this is a single day, right? These are multiple days. If they're colored blue, then it's multiple days. These are the areas that are the best trading areas. Trading in the middle is not, it's like trading in the middle of a balance area, right? It's just basically whipsaw, traders placing bets, algorithms. When you break out of these, those are good areas, or when if you want to fade these areas, right? So as you see, that this is what most people, this is all they see. So you got to make it, they got to make a choice. Hey, I'm going to go long here, I'm going to go short. We have the benefit of understanding, or you do, as the longer you've been in here or watching my webinars, you understand the volume setups. So the volume setups are the key, the trigger to trade in these areas. So when you get a volume setup in these areas, those are really good, high risk reward trade areas. And then you add in your lugs, Ludwig levels, which are, very good for day trading, obviously. Then you start to build your own trade plan, right? You may like to fade these areas. You may like to play breakouts of these areas, right? If things align, you get enough things in your favor, then you play the trade. Then you take the trade. So again, we know we're breaking out of that composite. If we can get through this directional conviction area, pretty much through this zone. I mean, I can probably make this zone tighter here because, you know, this stuff happened before. Even though this selling tail, we have not retested this. See this tail right here? Actually, I don't even have the zone fully on that, but most recent stuff is this and this. So we could tighten the zone up a little bit. So if we do get through there, this is about the only thing standing in the way. That's instant rejection, right? One of the 4 important areas of charting. That's the only thing standing in the way until we move up to this area. Right? That's where this directional conviction started, and the down directional conviction started. So you can see, yeah, this is one big down move, but anytime you get like a blip, that's a blip, right? So it obviously like popped up. It wasn't, that's not directional conviction. Directional conviction is like a straight move down, right? Like that. So that's why I have the zone here versus up here, right? Because you can see that little yellow blip there. So this is where this whole thing started. And this zone was, again, where that started. This is where this held. So this is the next stop if we get going. If not, this is going to fail again. So keep an eye on this exact setup. This is the whole crux of trading, right? You find your areas and then you overlay the real-time volume in those areas, and then you decide. So the way we decide what this is when this gets an ATR out of here, that determines the setup. So if this gets an ATR out of here, I will be looking for retest failure. The reason I'm looking for retest failure is because we're right at the yellow lug, so I need to see, I need to see it retest and fail, then I'll get in. Sometimes, again, I'll take trades aggressively, 90% of an ATR out of here, but this is the best way to trade it. Yeah, sometimes it's not going to retest, and that sucks, but the majority of the time, if you wait, it's going to retest, especially in markets like gold, natural gas, crude, and it's just a better signal. So what I'm also doing, so I started 2 more of those Apex funding accounts. So on one of them, so in this one, what I'm going to do is, I've got 3 going. I've got one that I qualified for, like we've talked about, and we're going to do a webinar tomorrow too with them, so you guys can ask questions. But that one's live, and then so these two trial ones, I'm gonna trade these. So one of them I'm gonna wait every setup I see, right? Regardless of where we're at in the charts, I'm going to wait for retest, failure, and then I'm gonna get in. Actually, I'm gonna go over a full ATR because we've been talking about. We've been doing first we're at 80%, then we're at 90%. I'm gonna go a full ATR, outside of full ATR to enter the trade. The other account, I'm gonna do it aggressively, meaning not aggressively first time out, but I will wait for this, then the retest, and when we retest the zone, that's where I'm gonna get in, and I'm gonna put my stop an ATR and a half away from the zone, because I'm getting in at a better price instead of waiting for down here. That lets me get a full ATR and a half out of the zone. So I'm going to trade both accounts. One, I'm going to trade, again, wait for this, and I'm getting in there. And then the other account, I'm trading in when it does this and then comes back, right? And then, there's going to be instances where I'll be aggressive, but not on those 2 accounts. I'll just do them on the regular account. So we'll see which one works better over the next month, right? Because a lot of traders don't like entering way down here. They say, hey, I want to get in right at the zone once it shows its hand. So we'll let you know how that goes. But anyway, we're waiting to see what this is. We don't know if this is a double whammy or a broken double whammy. Double whammy is dumb money puke, sell ice, fails, right back now. Broken double whammy means it gets above here, full ATR. The sell ice obviously was not correct, and it launches. Hopefully that makes sense. What do I think of liquidity? Yes, that just came in. It's a legitimate area. I don't like liquidity that just pops in the book. Like, this is pre-market though, so it's not like they're just trying to scare the market, but you can see this liquidity has been here all night. And then they just added more here. And then you got these mans, I think this is legit, But I'm saying, like, if you're watching the market after the market opens and you just see like liquidity like this, right? You see that, how that moved up. These are guys just screwing with the markets. So you want to pay attention to liquidity that's been in here a long time. This is the main one, and then we'll see it as this goes. But you can see there was some here and it was pulled and then they put it back in. So bottom line is the longer the better. But you can see it's on both sides here. So this looks like more of a range day. And it better be a range day for NASDAQ and ES's sake, because if this fails, so what did we talk about yesterday? Right, we talked about first spot gamma saying was expecting a rally because of all the options positions expiring on Friday. We opened up right here, we gapped down. This is on the AIM webinar. We talked about how this needs to hold. What should happen here? This is a failed breakdown. This market should do that. If it stalls here and then comes back, we're making new lows, right? So many times when you're analyzing or coming up with your thesis, it's what a market should do. If it doesn't do that, then that's an even better trade the other way. So like we've been saying, this zone here that was in here from before, right? This, and yesterday it's exactly where we held, which is pretty much the high line note of this. It's a little higher, but it's right there. If this market comes back down here and gets under this tail from yesterday, this buying tail, this thing is going to retrace this entire bar, I will bet on it, right? Because again, what should happen? This is a failed breakdown of this multi-day balance. This should rip. There's nothing here, right? This should get up into these areas. This zone, this zone, this zone. If that doesn't happen, that's just signaling this is going to happen. So it's going to be really important. On the open, we did sell off. There were some bad earnings last night, I guess. We're down here at 39.34. So this needs to hold the zone. If this breaks the zone, you should not be getting long. That's what I'm telling you. It looks even worse on NASDAQ as far as 1842. I'm sorry, 11,842. We're like down here. This is already looking not good, right? We're like right there. This tail from yesterday is the last stand, or this thing is going to retrace this entire bar right here. Again, failed breakdown. This should do that. It's not doing that, and it's about to come back below this tail yesterday. If it does that, there is no structure here. Right back down. So guys, all structure is traders placing bets. That's why the market reacts there, because when it comes back to those areas, guys are getting out, so on and so forth. When there is nothing here, it just will shoot right back down because there's nothing to stop it, right? There's no traders like getting out of their positions that held them in a huge balance area. See the difference? So that there's nothing here as far as structure. So if this gets a little below here, you start getting setups, I'd just be looking for short setups is what I'm saying. So it's going to be an interesting opening. And then market profile. See where we're at in ES right here before the market opened. This was yesterday. We got out of this. Couldn't get into this one. So this is what I was talking about. I guess the IOM is not on here. If you go to the Edge channel, he was asking, Edge History channel, he said, what is market profile composite edges? Because I said the best place to play the extremes and the edge are like at the best fades are important areas: lugs, MP composite edges, VWAP extremes, standard deviations with an SI setup. So he said, what are market profile composite edges? Well, this is market profile composite. A composite again is just days merged. These are edges. These are the best places. So if we came up here, I can't remember what this was yesterday as far as the edge, and the edge is like plus 84%, and you get a signal, that is an incredible opportunity to short it, especially like if we're confluent with a lug or something, right? So these edges are important. So once again, I know there's newer traders here all the time, but some of you guys have been in here for a while. You should know this stuff, right? So these are this is crude. These are 2 single days, right? This was yesterday, this was Friday. The value area of these days overlap, so you can merge these 2 days to make a composite, right? So we will merge this There's your composite. So you had a composite inside a composite. So this is very rangy, right? That's right now. So you watch to see what it does out of this most recent composite. You can see we went right to we opened up, it opened up right at the top, and it's failing. So you want to see what it does out of here, and then you really want to see what it does out of this one. And then that's going to be your next move. And then you go to your structure and you say, okay, what does that look like? Wow, that looks like balance. It looks like two composites together. It's just another view, right? This is balance. What is balance? Traders placing bets. Longs, shorts, longs, shorts, longs, shorts. Who's going to win? Whoever doesn't win has to puke it, right? The longer this goes on, the bigger the move is going to be because you're going to get puke. So you can see this zone continues to hold. We drew this zone. This is where we gapped down, opened up the other day, and led to this huge directional conviction, right? Came back, failed, failed, failed. This is an important zone. And now this zone was drawn before this. You can see I draw it to where that happened, right? And it held perfectly. Now it's the top of this balance. So this is going to be really important. If we get out of here, expect that. This holds and we break this, we get through this tail here, you can expect this whole thing to retrace. Looks just like the equities as far as balance with no structure below. So in the meantime, you're probably better off not trading crude in this middle of this area. Wait for it to break out. Wait for it to break out of edges. You could play the edges, you know, if you want to play ranges, but the best places to play that are here, right? Especially if it's confluent with a lug. Whatever way we break out of this bigger one is going to be the move. We get out of this, we're doing that. We get out of this, we're coming back. So just wait for these areas and then wait for your volume setups to confirm. Do I need to restart my Sarah chart? Trader Gal? Yeah, that's not looking good. Let me restart this. How are you feeling, Trader Gal? She's not listening. Maybe she just popped on to tell us that. So I'm restarting my Sarah chart right now. I'd suggest she do the same or whatever if you're using Sarah chart. All right, so this setup we're waiting for. So the bottom of the zone was 92, the current ATR 16, 16.1, so we'll round up to 17. So this was we get 17 ticks below here. Looks like it. Yeah. So that's a full ATR, and you see how the algos just snap it right back at the ATR, right? That's why we're using that ATR. Let's go here. Here's your retest. So on my one account, this is my entry right here, right? We just were talking about this. Right when a retest, I'm getting in. If I can find this thing, let's see which account is this. Slow computer. It's gold. Hold on. That was on here. I missed this trade.
NQ ICE iceberg by NQ, 151 contracts.
I'll do this right now. Hold on a second. I'm gonna get the NQ drawn first. I'll come back then. Probably gonna miss that trade, but the aggressive entry anyway. Just want to see what's going on in NQ. All right. Nothing.
Nice iceberg by ZC, 300 contracts.
What was that? So I'm not going to piecemeal this setup together. Remember, I'm not going to piecemeal this when it's far apart like this just to get the threshold. I want to see one of them at least close to threshold, so I'll just wait on it. Very important area though. So this, I could definitely, for this account, so I'm gonna short this full ATR, just below a full ATR, or just above a full ATR, right? So the 17, here's your retest, here's your failure. Sorry guys, I got like 20 things going on here, trying to get these other accounts.
Slow the computer.
Why is this not working? All right. So I missed my aggressive entry on my one account because I thought I had my gold thing and I don't know what happened to it. I'll show you that here in a second. This is back up and running. Yeah, I mean, this isn't bad. You got 113, 97, 77, pretty much all in the same area. We can draw this because this is an important area for NASDAQ. So that's good enough. Just hanging here. So we'll trade this. So ATR in here is 18.7, which is pretty low for NASDAQ. That's a good thing. You don't have to risk have to risk 100 points on the trade. So we got up to 1848. So this was definitely an ATR. Here's your retest right here. And we know this is like a do or die area. Like this needs to hold right now. If this doesn't hold this, there's that tail. That was the fail breakdown. This should not be back here. This goes a little lower, bye-bye. So if it holds this zone, I'll buy this. But if we get below the zone, I'm not taking long setups right now. It's not a good area to be doing it. So let's see if this can hold. I'm not going to short this zone because it disqualified itself as a short setup because we got a full ATR above it, right? So this will be done. I'll wait for us to move lower. I'll wait for a new setup and I'll go short. Here we go with the alerts. I forgot what that was.
S&P data, manufacturing, PMI flash, 57.
I don't know what market that is. I put that in yesterday. Hold on. And it doesn't show me what market it is.
55.2, and the price 55 is spot 6. The S&P global US data.
Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to go market by market to figure out what that is. It's really annoying though. I can tell you that. My crude short, or my copper short yesterday. Sorry. That's all I need. All this, I got everything going on here, and I got an alert going off, and I have no idea what product it is. I can't find it. Does anyone here know how to find the product that's going off? It usually lights it up, highlights it on down here, and there's nothing highlighting. Not here. Not here. Russell. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. Like, I cannot find where that alert is. Interesting. All right, so NASDAQ's still holding this zone. Again, I'm not going to trade to the short side because it violated it to the upside. But any new setups, I will be going short. See, here's ES. We talked about this. Very important. When you get below here, it's going to should retrace this entire thing. Not there yet. NASDAQ looks much more teetering on the edge. All right, I did not get filled on this yet. So see, this is why I'm going to start to, like, for this account, like I was telling you, I'm waiting for retest or full ATR retest failure, and I'm going outside of an ATR. That just, if I would have done 90%, I would have been filled on this trade, on this move down. So that's a good thing. Let me get this going here real quick because I want to short aggressively my other account, like I said. So if you guys don't know how to do this, when you get an account, go to your exchange, gold, front month. It's not May. I don't know why they have that up there. All right, so I'm just going to short this. This is my aggressive account here. All right, so I'm short there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on ATR and a half.
Up to I stopped by CL 168 contracts.
I'm going to go on ATR and a half because I got a better entry here, right? So ATR is 17. We're on 17.2. We run up to 18. 18 and 9 is 27. So 27 ticks above here is going to be my stop. This is my new method. This is not my normal method, right? I don't usually go ATR and a half, but I'm able to do that because I shorted in this zone. So hopefully that makes sense. So 27 puts me at 33. I just want to see, we're going to see over the next few weeks, month, which method works best, right? Or which one has the higher P&L. All right, so we got both of those on. Hopefully you guys are following along here. Scrambling around though. I got something in crude here. Not real excited about trading in this zone that we just talked about, but this is threshold. Buy, stop, run.
We get the US S&P global data for May prelim. The manufacturing PMI flash forecast 57.7 on the prior 59.2. On composite PMI flash forecast 55.7 on the prior 6, and the services PMI flash forecast 55.2 on the prior.
This is officially below this tail.
Elsewhere, seeing from the Saudi foreign ministry,
There's nothing here.
it has done what it can on oil.
I'm calling that. So once again, the reason I'm so bearish now is because of what didn't happen. This should have done that. Now we're back again. I think we make new lows. So. Now I just need my signal, right? I mean, you could trade off of this, but we got an ATR above it. So that, for me, that disqualifies this zone. I'm just waiting for something new now. Same with ES. I mean, that's not below that zone yet, but it's on its way. So this is important. We just talked about this in crude, right? So the stop run just fired off right at the top of this. So if this turns into a stop and hold, you can go long. Right, ATR in here is 30 ticks, 30.4. So you want to see 31 ticks above here. Bottom top of this zone is 83. So you want to see 13, 11, 13, 111, 13. And play retest failure. See where we're at. Granted, the top of this zone is a little higher, or the top of this balance is a little higher, but I think that's a, We do retest failure, that thing should launch. I'm still not filled in gold yet. But you see that aggressive entry, that was, I just saved myself, if I do enter here, that's 30 ticks, right? On this aggressive entry account. Yeah, it's already 20, that's 20 plus tick difference. So we'll see how that works out. 3 is a stop there. I still don't know what market that alert was going off at. I'm sure it's going to go off again somewhere. But you think it would pop up in the actual alerts, right? You'd think it would pop up here and show you where it's going off. It's no go. Suppose a signal on bonds, missed this one. $668 ICE, sell ICE.
One minute remaining now. I'll be leading with the US S&P manufacturing PMI flash. The Saudi Foreign Minister also says there is enough oil in the market.
All right, this ATR on bonds is
10 seconds.
14 ticks. Top of the zone. Put it at 05.
57 spot 5, 57 spot 5, lower than the forecast 57 spot 7 as S&P services.
So it's not getting an ATR above here yet, right? So once it does, if we retest, I'll get in a long on my aggressive account. The conservative account, I wait for ATR retest failure. I get in above an ATR and then I risk an ATR below here, below an ATR, or a little above an ATR. So keep an eye on that. Still nothing in equities beside this one by ICE area. So gold is ripping back out of that zone. It's just pulling the usual gold. But I did not get filled on this one, so that's good. And again, I went outside the ATR, right? Instead of 90%, I would have been filled and this would have been on my face. The only one I'm losing on is my aggressive entry. I don't want to stop into that because I never got filled. All right, there's an ATR on bonds. So now if this comes back here, I will go long. And I'll go long on the other account, ATR retest failure. It's got to be up here though. It's ATR is 18.
NQ stock sell NQ 158 contracts.
All right, this is why I was waiting
Gold
for.
stock by GC 452 contracts.
That's a lot.
Silver ICE iceberg sell SI 100 contracts. Gold ICE iceberg sell GC, 150 contracts. Gold stock by GC, 181 contracts.
Alrighty. See you, gold. I get filled on that. That's canceled. Look at this. Wow. 600 stops. This is a huge double whammy here. I'll come back to that. I don't want to miss this short in Q. It's 163. All right, did that get me here below there? 25.67 right now, so 25.75 points. Bottom of the zone was at 23.25. No, I only got about 18 points out of there. But I may take this aggressively depending on where we are with the lug. Yeah, we're below yellow lug, so I can take this aggressively. So what I'm going to do though, I'm going to put this outside of an ATR. Remember how we do it at 90%? I'm doing it above. So I'm going to go, ATR is now up to 25.67. So I put it at 26 points. This is at 24. So 98 is where I will enter this trade. Again, that's the aggressive entry. I'm aggressive based on everything we talked about. And then on top of that, we're below the yellow lug, right? You can see, once again, open up right at the bottom of this, no go. And like I said, we are below. And I had this zone drawn from before. I can erase this now. This was this, right? But we traded through it. Now it could be erased. It's not as important, obviously. So your next area is going to be down here. This is a large zone. This is from before, but this is buying tail, directional conviction. I think we can have a straight move right down here. It's almost 200 points away. Gold is, I think, still in this. So we talked about this, right? Like I was willing to short that. Now, change these colors though. All right, so we still didn't get through this tail though. Remember I was saying this was the last area. So the zone was important, directional conviction. And I said, remember I just made the zone smaller. You got these tails right here. You got this and this. See, that's right where we stopped. A little higher, this is going to at least that, probably even probably up to here. And more importantly, we got through the most recent this and this. So that looks, I have no problem buying that once we get out of this zone aggressively. Pretty sure we're above the yellow lug as well. Above the yellow lug. Red lug is up here, about 70 ticks away. And you can see we're in this prior. This is where this struggled yesterday, right? And now we're inside. Expectation is at minimum to the other side of this. And that's real close to that. You know, if you want to be aggressive based on everything I just showed you, why it's looking like a long, you can enter in the zone, right? You don't have to wait for retest fail, right? But you don't know what this is. Remember, this is a huge dumb money puke, and there was sell ice in here. So it's the second, and there was some down here too. So the bigger money is fading this move. Doesn't mean they're going to be right. That's why you wait for it to get out of the zone to see who's right or who's wrong. You could enter right in the middle of the zone if you want, but then you're just asking for whipsaw city. So I'm going to wait to see which way this breaks out of this zone. It should be higher, but if it's not, then that's telling us something too. Crude, obviously an ATR. Above the yellow lug. Breaking out of this composite. So if we retest that stop area, that's right on the top of here, I would expect at least to this, maybe out of this guy. We're still in this zone, but as far as I'm concerned, this is a breakout, right? We got above this. So, you know, if this retest fails, I'll give it a shot. And any long signals, I will be going aggressive, get it going long aggressively. There is nothing here structure-wise until up here, right? That's $3 away, 300 ticks. See, it's just sitting on the yellow lug right in the middle of this composite. These are not good areas to be trading. And it hasn't shown its hand like NASDAQ has. It's just sitting in the zone. This could hold. My volume node, buying tail from yesterday, right here. We need to see it below here for that. This could just come right back down. Let's see if I can fill them in NASDAQ. Did not. What is it? This was 32.75. Okay, that did not get an ATR above here, so this zone still qualifies for my short, right? So this is why I didn't take the first one, because we got the ATR as a short, we got an ATR above. This one did not get an ATR above. ATR is 26.35 points. So this still qualifies as my aggressive short. Granted, we didn't get ATR below this yet either, but we just went over why I'm going to go get aggressive on this trade. I'm not going to wait for a retest. Doesn't mean it won't retest, but I'm going to hop in. Filled on that. All right, so my stop's going to go 27 points above here. I'm going right outside an ATR. That puts me at 50 quarter. So yeah, I'm risking 50 points in this trade. That's actually nothing for this market. That's why I'm able to put a 2 lot on as well. Edge is not even close to oversold either, so that's a good thing. Again, in your traders, you have access to this. Go to the new Squawk channel. You have the headlines, the Squawk box with the news, the numbers here, and then you also have this Edge product So you do not want to be initiating longs or shorts when the red is above, red or green are above this 67% line. This is just showing you all the stocks in the S&P 500. You get the reversion to me. So you can see we're down here, it's only at 53%. So we got some room to go for this to be oversold, which is good. How's ADD and tech? Good question. Actually, what I need to be doing is I need to be screenshotting this for, I gotta put my NASDAQ trade in yesterday at the channel today. I just didn't have a chance, but I gotta remember to do this because then it takes me 5 hours at night to post all my trades for you guys. So I got that. Let's just look at this real quick. See, tick's pretty much staying below zero. VIX isn't doing much. We are minus 1300. It's not trend down. And I'm also implementing the new rule where if we go on, you know, plus or minus 2000, we go under 2000, I'm not taking any longs. Doesn't mean you can't bounce, but they're short-lived, and it's just, I'm not doing it. I've lost so much money trying to play those bounces when this thing is trend down. Get this real quick. The S is next. If it gets below this tail and we get a signal, I'll be short that too. Crude retesting the zone. I'll play retest fail there. We'll come back there. Just ever retested.
9 minus 9 gives us on the forecast of 10.
Wait, what is he chirping? And you can see the tick strike here too. You can't hear it, obviously, because I have every product up, and you would literally go nuts if you had to hear every product all day long set at 1. But those tick strikes are all set at 1 sensitivity, so you're seeing everything that happens in there. Mine on this computer are set to
0.5 at 9 at 1 million, 0.5 at 9 at 1 million. That is lower than the forecast of 0.75 million. US new home sales change month on month at minus 16.6.
all right. I'm basically holding this till I get a new setup and we're blue up.
That's lower than the forecast.
Nothing here, guys. This is what I was saying. Like, we can retrace that entire. They're hammering this stuff. I'm just trying to get this stuff recorded so I don't have to do this later. The volume is sucky though, so this could snap back at any minute here. Not meaning I'm going to get stopped out, meaning I'm just going to be tortured for a while, because when there's no volume running through here, we talk about it every day, right? All right, we're at spot gamma level right here. We just went through there. I'm not going to get out there though. So there's liquidity below. You could get out of it if you got multiple positions on. You could get out if it can't get to this liquidity. Because remember, I'm pretty sure we're at extreme standard deviation too. If there's no volume, which there's not, look at this relative volume. It can't even get to 100%. This thing that could snap back at any minute. You see this? Like, it's very unlikely. I shouldn't say unlikely. It doesn't happen very often where you're hugging.
NQ stop sell NQ 245 contract.
Now,
S&P stop sell ES
there you go.
561 contract.
Now I could trail my stop based on this new setup.
S&P iceberg by ES 735 contracts.
Let's just have everything fire off at once now. There's that. There's that. So remember the ATRs.
SLPI for by ES 703
I'll
contract.
be there in a second. Yes, to short you too. So 29 is the ATR now. I'm putting my stop 30 ticks above here. So I'll basically make a little bit on this. We're at 50, 50, 50. So I'm going to go 80, 50 for my stop here. 30 ticks above. I'm going outside the ATR, right? There you go. That's good enough. Because we got a new setup, right? And I could actually add to this if I wanted to. See how close we are to the blue lug, and then it's another 60 points away, but by the time I enter that, it's only gonna be about 40 points away if I were to enter this new trade aggressively, so I'll just wait on that. I mean, I'm not gonna add to that. Plus I have 2 on, which is good. Now let's see what's going on in this little donkey. 1,000 buy ice, 600 buy ice. So this is a double whammy. Somebody's mining here. See if they're right. If they're right, this is like last stand for this to hold. If not, paper's going to get handed to them like that. Incorporate all this ice here. This is it, man. This thing better hold here or it's bye-bye. Bedtime for Bonzo. You're looking at 50-point move would be my call. Yeah, again, that's my opinion, but all right, so ATR on here, I'm going to do the same thing in here as I did in NASDAQ. I'll short this aggressively, 6.81. So I believe we're below the yellow lug. Let's take a peek. Sure are. So if I get short, this will be my first area. I'll probably get out of 1 down at the bottom of this market profile composite. It's not quite at the blue lug, obviously. And then I'll try to hold the rest of the blue lug. So 8 points out of here, I'm going to go outside of an ATR. And I'm doing this aggressively. Remember, I'm not waiting for a retest because of everything we've talked about. And we're below the yellow lug. So 8 points below here puts me at 90, was it 94.75. Short that aggressively. I seriously, I might have to hire my 60-year-old daughter to help me. Like I literally we got 3 Apex accounts, 6 different accounts that I'm trading. Like it's just not. And then I'm trading out here too. It's not easy. All right, let's see what happens here. This might go a little way straight to this blue lug. I'm surprised. I am surprised we're hugging this. I mean, I thought this would be a short, but I'm surprised this is hugging -2.5 standard deviation with this type of volume, relative volume. Right? I mean, it got over 100%, but it's not like, it's not huge pressure. This is at least to normal. When you got to really start worrying is when you see red. That's when you get the algo snapback. These areas, because we're so over, we're so extreme right now. But again, the edge is still not oversold. We get down to that blue lug and you see this thing at like -80% and you get a signal, you could buy it right away, like immediately. And that'll probably be down in this area. That would be a great buy for, it'll be in this zone. That's the bottom of this. This is right around, this is about 90 points away. And that's right where that blue lug is, right? This is where this launched. If we come down here, we're oversold, blue lug. You get the second you hear a SI signal, you can hop in there and play for at least a temporary bounce. You know, hoping that this doesn't go minus 2,000, but because I just said I won't take longs on that, but that scenario I may have to. Minus 1,400, 1,450. Let's check our hero, by the way. See what that's looking like. I'm supposed to screenshot this too. I forgot to do that. All right, it's not, there's a divergence, but it's not crazy, right? Usually when you see snapback, huge snapbacks, the blue, which is the put call total, that's up here.
S&P stop sell ES 500 stop sell ES 500 stop sell ES 518 contracts.
All right, so now I got to make a decision. Do I leave this original stop in and then just trail it based on the new setup? I'm going to do that because I want to be, and this is actually not a threshold. I'm going to let this fill. I'm basing it off this first area, right? You could trail your stop. He said 500, but I'm not seeing it on here. I guess these two combined, yeah. So this is over 500. So what I'll do is I'll draw this zone. And if I get filled on this short, I'm going to trail my stop based on this new setup. Does that make sense? All right, I'm filled there. Gosh. And then you add in the 1982 Atari drawing tools, and it's like you're trying to do all this stuff, figure out what you're doing, where you're putting your orders, and then I got to sit here with this. How could this be so advanced? This what we're looking at, and then they have these drawing tools. I will never understand. Never ever understand. So anyway, I'm gonna AT right now is 7.34, so I'm gonna go 7.5 points out of here for my stop. That puts me at 9. Right, because I'm basing it off of this stop run here. Is that right? No. Take that back. 0475. What was I looking at? Oh, no, that's right. Started up here. Sorry, it was 09. And that's right outside this zone too. So that's a good area to stop out. All right, do you see? So this is where you got to be careful too. If you want to get out of one, you're going to get these algo front running. The algo's front run, that's liquidity. I don't really want to get out until the lug, but I just don't like this volume. Oh, here we go with my alerts. I have no idea because I just don't know where that's firing. It doesn't tell me where it's going off. I think I found it. It was soybeans. Right, there you go. Get on down there, you little donkey. Come on. All right, so the blue lug is 82.50. So what I'm going to do here, just because I'm expecting, if this pops back, I'm just going to get out of one of these right now because I'm just not convinced this is going to go straight down to the lug. I think it's going to screw around a little bit. So I'm out of one. So this is one of the times I get out. I don't always do it, and you want to be consistent, but I just know with this volume, this is not. I doubt it's going to make it all the way down to blue lug in one shot. So what you can do when you hit liquidity, if it can't hold below there, you can get out. I probably put this a little too close, but I've saved myself right now. So you can use this as one of your exits, reasons to exit. You know, if for certain reasons, not every time.
For 5GC, 150.
The reason I did that is because there's just this volume is really, really low relative volume, and that's when the algos screw you. right? Like this is not impressive. I mean, yeah, we're at normal, but you want to see 150, 200% on these extended moves down. If not, again, they're going to snap it back. I mean, I'm hoping if it makes it out of the blue, I cost myself, what, 40 points on one lot. That's fine. I'll be happy with the trade. And I'm also guarding against this coming all the way back on me, which would not surprise me one bit. And I'm short both markets, so it's like I'm fine with getting out of one there. Now we got the, I didn't even see this. This is spot gamma level. Not that I went into the short. What is this here? I'm just hoping we can puncture through here. This might be a loss. You know, you could come up with your trading plan. I don't short until we get below. I wait for signals below the spot gamma. That's not a bad idea either, but there's just enough going for this that I think we can rip right through that area. This was the last stand as far as I'm concerned. Doesn't mean we can't pop back, but I will bet you we cover this guy before we come back to that guy. And if it doesn't, hey, if this turns around and holds, then we got to reassess, right? That's what trading is. But this should do this, just like this should have done that. It didn't. That was our signal that something bad was happening. Bad for the market, good for me because I want the signal to go to zero. Right? This should make it down to the zone minimum. See. Since he has broke 4,000, spot gamma levels have been pretty bad. Yeah, I was reading, we haven't read it today. I'll read that in a second here and see what happens. This is just feeling like this is going to snap back on me. Again, it doesn't matter what I feel, right? I follow my rules. This is where traders get in trouble, right? This feels, it's kind of hanging here. I know the volume's low. I know we're extreme standard deviation. It feels like it's, and we got spot gamma, you know, but I got to follow my rules. Something comes in, you know.
Sell ES 707 contracts.
There you go. There's your new setup. Now I can trail my stop. Got 900 ICE and counting. Seriously losing track of all my accounts, what I have on, what I don't. It's lots of fun. This is still coming in, by the way.
S&P ICE iceberg sell ES 700 contracts.
1,200 and counting. I may have to adjust this zone.
Gold ICE iceberg by GC 150 contracts.
All right, so you can see that here. Just make sure I got all the prices correct. That looks right. The sweeps help a lot in drawing the zones. You can see these sweeps here. Snakes, we call them. All right, so now minimum I can do. First of all, I want to make sure we're not at the blue lug here. Real close. Come on. We're 82.50. I might just get out of this here since I have ES on. See if we get one more swipe down. Come on. All right, I'm out, especially because that liquidity is there. There's a liquidity. You get the algo front runs liquidity. Here we are at the baby lug and blue lug. I'll take that trade and be done, and I'm still short ES. So now ES, ATR is up to 7.5. So I'm going to go just outside an ATR. Let's just make it 8 points. So now I can move this down to 050, 3,950. There you go. But what I'm going to do here, you see where the stop is? I'm going to at least put it outside of this. Right? You could keep it outside of the sell ice. This is, we had a trade on yesterday. I think it was, what was it? I forgot what it was. But we said, hey, if I'm wrong, I want to see if this market's going to pop, it's got to get through this zone. It's got to get through this zone, and you can make it get through that zone if you want to keep your stop there. I just trailed it down through that. Let's see what we can get out of some of these. At least one of these. Blue lugs at 61.75.
Weak stocks July stock sells EW for 287 contracts.
So I was going to get out right here if it struggled, but it's not sure. If this pops back up here, I'm going
July Iceford sells
to get out of one of these because of the bottom of this composite, right? That's an important area. So give this just a tad bit, and then I'm going to get out of one of these because it's back inside that composite. Let's see what we're at here. Let's see what that price is. Right around, say 85.75. I'll just get out of one here. And then if we do retest failure, I may get back in of this zone. We go ATR. So 8 points, yeah, 7.78 now. So 8 points below here, which put me at 76.25. Retest failure, I may enter another position, especially because I'm on a NASDAQ on top of it. So I'm not like fully loaded and everything. Oh, and another reason to get out, potentially. What did we say? There you go. 72.7. So it doesn't mean it can't go higher, right? It can go to 100%. I've never seen it. There was one time a few weeks ago, if you guys remember, it got up like 99% or something. But be very careful initiating shorts when this red is above this white line, or initiating longs. And actually, if I got a long signal in NASDAQ right now, I would probably jump in immediately. We're at the blue log. We're right here. This started. This, and we know the volume's not great. This is a good spot that this could snap back. I think there might be one more little wave down here, and that could be it. If I hear anything in NASDAQ, I'm opting in long. Anything. I'm not even going to wait. I'm just going to get in. Let's make sure we're not at negative 2,000 here on the ADD. 1695. I really want to signal to go long in NASDAQ, even with my short on. And yes. There you go. Blue lug, baby lug, extreme standard deviation. There's not a lot of volume. There's nothing market profile wise, but this I will take along here, at least for a snapback. I know this thing never snaps back, but that's a joke. I can actually, I'm going to redraw this zone. So I had this zone from, I mean, it was something prior as well. That's why it's stretching here. I might keep it in. That's where this huge directional conviction started. Maybe move it down a little bit here to incorporate these tails in this directional conviction. See, because the thing is, like this area, that we've already traded through this, right? So it's not as important. See this? Like it was important here, obviously, held. We traded through, So this isn't as important as this area now. So let's just get this out of here. So I'm going to incorporate all these tails. I'll never understand this thinkorswim my whole life. There you go. That's the zone. 37 is the top. 37 down to 08. Did I put my stop in on that GC trade? On this? Yeah. Make sure I got no positions on here. I'm seriously losing track. I've got too much going on here. Yeah, took the loss on that. Scott, rather than going long, would you consider waiting for the pullback? Edge would settle. Yeah, that's probably the, exactly. But I mean, that's the, I don't want to say smart thing to do. That is the smart thing to do. And it's probably the best course of action based on what we, what we've been talking about with the structure, right? Is to find, because it's already violated, like this thing is going much lower, I think, right? So the best course of action is just to wait. I don't want to say best course of action because I think, we're day traders, right? Like we play that. This is a good area. Look at that. This is right where this should hold for right now, right? But yeah, you could wait, but there's really nothing here. You want to wait for this, see this gets all the way back to 11.9. Like that's asking a lot, right? Or you can wait for, that's when you can break down your, go down to the 5-minute time period. And what's probably going to happen here, because it happens 99.99% of the time, is we do bounce back, and then it'll build balance, for the next however many hours, and the trade turns terrible. And then on a breakdown of that, then you can reshort it type of thing, or break down and retest it type of thing. But yeah, you can use that, or you can use your market profile stuff. But I mean, there's enough going for this to take a chance on a long. If I heard something, I didn't hear anything, so that's why I didn't do anything. But especially we have the benefit of that edge, knowing what stuff's oversold, because you're gonna get a snapback eventually. Like we've seen over the last few weeks, we've seen it extend. That's very, very rare for that just to like hang and keep going lower when this edge is way oversold. Right? And what didn't even get that oversold? We're at 70%. I mean, it didn't get crazy. But yeah, if you want to be patient and wait for pullbacks, let's check out. I mean, the thing is, there's just nothing here. You could do the other, again, this is the middle of nowhere charting wise and market profile wise, but many times when you snap back to daily value area, remember daily value area is just one standard deviation from VWAP. You can short there. You can obviously short at VWAP, confluent with yellow lug. It's not that this can't pop right back up here. I mean, 200 points is nothing in this market lately, but but these are good areas to, if you want to attempt that. I don't know if I do it at baby lug, it's in the middle of nowhere, but daily value area or here are good places to look for that. But again, this is holding, this isn't like we got the move, right? Like this is not ridiculously bearish now. If it gets through this tail or we get through this directional conviction, again, I got to adjust this zone. It's pretty large, but the most recent zone is here. If we get through there, then yes, you absolutely want to wait for, I would not be getting long. I'd be waiting for pullbacks to get short, right? But there's your move. And this is an area, this can easily come back now, right? We got the move. I said, if we open up below this tail, we're coming down to where this directional conviction started. Well, we got it. Here we are, right? So here you could play for bounces. If it gets below this stuff, then I would not be looking for longs. Just like I said, I wasn't going to go long up here. Now I'll go long. Let's see what this zone was. I might be able to. It's from a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I don't even have it on here. Let's see. Yeah, negative on this either. I hate this. This thing never saves the settings. I don't know what to do to get this to save the settings. That's this zone here. Let's see what this was. Remember, this is a daily chart. That's why the zone's so large. You can see this is where so this is basically the high volume node of this large multi-month balance, right? We're right smack dab in the middle of it. That's where we're at right now, pretty close. And you had, obviously we gapped up this day, and then directional conviction, buying tail that led to this entire, we've never been back here. So this is, I'm just gonna keep this because this is an important zone, right? So anywhere in here, this market could bounce, and that's the high volume node of this monster. Again, this was from 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. No, a year and a half, sorry. So I'm gonna keep this zone. If we break this zone, then we're coming down to this other one here, this white one, which was it'll be through this guy, but then that was this. Remember, this is daily, so this is like multi-week here, balance area. You can see, what did we do? We came back, held it, buying tail, gone. So the next important zone down, 11,000. So if we break the bottom of this, again, that's another 300 points away. So anywhere in this area, this could bounce. Let's see, if it breaks that, it's gonna get ugly, uglier. All right, so that was a good cover on one of them, right? Now we're back inside. I think we're back inside this profile now too. So this could be the bounce that I was expecting. I just really wish I would have got stuff on NASDAQ. I was gonna jump on that puppy. There you go. -2 standard deviation. Yeah, let's kick it in. Now it's product coming back to here or here. And it couldn't hold outside of this. This is why I got out of one of them. I was to stop out like I normally do, but there's a very good chance I stop out of this now. But I made, you know, at least I caught the move in the NASDAQ. This one, it is what it is, right? Here's your setup. We didn't get an ATR below here. So you could play this to the long side if you want. I don't want to because we're not at a, right? If that holds and we do that, you can go long. Let's see where we're at here. I just don't understand how I lose these charts every single time. See, I don't, this is just like the NASDAQ earlier. I don't want to go long in here. There's nothing here. This violated this down here, I will long. See, NASDAQ's already in this area. NASDAQ, yes, has got another however many points to go. 50 points to go. This is not a good place to go long. Right, but we could pop back into the zone. Remember, support now becomes resistance. So if we do pop back and I get a short, say I get stopped out and I get another short signal, I'll get right back in because I think that, again, this is showing its hand. This should have done that. This should have, if it does pull back, it should have held this buying tail. It didn't either. I mean, it didn't do that, and then it didn't hold the buying tail. I'm not going long this unless we're down here, or if we can maybe retake this, or if we build balance over how many hours and break out and retest, then I'll consider it. But right now, I'm not going long this market. NASDAQ, I'll give it a shot, but I'm not going long this market. So, but you could play this zone, you know, if the zone holds, the real-time volume is the most powerful thing. So if this holds, this is telling you something, you know, this sell ice got smoked. Any other questions, concerns? Guys, you got to be more active in this room, man. I'm telling you, you're not getting the full benefit of the room if you're not asking questions, posting charts. Even if they're wrong, you'll be corrected, and that's how you learn. You don't learn by just, you know, sitting on the sidelines, secret squirrel. I'm just telling you, you can do whatever you want, but you're paying to be in here. You might as well take advantage of it. I mean, you can watch me all day long. It's not going to make you, you know, a proficient trader unless you start understanding what's going on, putting the trades on, going through the emotions, you know, being robotic like with their stops and stuff like that. You can watch me literally for the next 20 years. And it does not going to make you a great trader. You got to start doing this stuff, posting charts, find out where you know, if you made the zone wrong or you didn't see this or that's not the right ATR or whatever. That's how you learn. You're not going to learn, and you're going to learn by watching me. That's not going to make you a great trader. Everything going for that long, blue lug and green targets. Yeah, baby lug. There's a bunch of stuff down there. Yeah, that and then the buy and tail, nothing on market profile, but then you have that directional conviction on the chart. Looks like we're gonna, you know, if we come down here again and the edge is oversold, and I get a setup, I'll take the long. I just didn't get the setup. We got the move. This is the move. This is where this should hold for now anyway. See it popping back and then just building balance. Keep an eye on this. So this thing goes over under 2,000. I'm not buying anything. I'm looking for shorts everywhere. But you can see this tick, right? Someone was asking last week, Lad, I think. This thing, the majority of the time, this has been under zero. Right? And making extremes. Well, not terrible extremes either. So that means there's probably more downside to this. If this, you know, you're not seeing 1,500, usually that's like capitulation and then it'll rip back. But this definitely, look at the difference. This is making 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. This can't get above 500 on the upside. Okay? That shows you that it's that. And that's that. That's that. This is the synthetic thing, all the FANG stocks put together. All right, guys, so just keep an eye on this. And I'll give this long a shot, at least short-lived long on NASDAQ if we come back down to that blue lug. Yes, I'm not going long. I'm just looking for shorts. If that pops back and stops me out and I get a new signal, I'll get right back in. Otherwise, I think this has got about 50 points more to go to the downside. You could. Well, what I'm probably gonna do here is add, because this is not oversold anymore. See that? Pulls back, 51%. I'm gonna add to this trade. ATR is, because we'll be back out of the market profile as well, right? 8.28. So I'm gonna go a couple ticks outside that. I'll go 875 out of there. And this is the aggressive entry, right? Wait, where's the, let me just check I forgot where the blue lug is. I don't want to shorten the blue lug. Oh no, I think the blue lug's close. Remember, that's what I was not gonna do. Yeah. It's 58 quarter. I'll take that trade. It's almost 20 points. I'll be risking a little more, obviously, but so if I'm risking, am I getting in at ATR? That's 8.66, so 9 points and 9. So I'm risking 9 to get in, 9 for my stop. That's 18, and then this is another 7. So I'm risking 25 points. So it's almost a 1-to-1 trade. I'm okay with that with the situation that we're talking about. So this is 84 quarter, 75 quarter. That's where I will enter, add to this trade. Again, I gotta cut down my size because now I'm risking more, right? I'm risking 20 plus points or 25 points. That's when you use your spreadsheet. I'll have access to this. It's all over the room, pin messages, resources. 25 points I can put on a 2-lot. Remember, plug in your account value here. If you're trading micros, just keep it, if it's a $12,000 account, just keep this like it is because it's just 1/10 of the value. And then these are micro contracts instead of the regular size. RTY is that blue lug. So that's 2 of the 3. So this is not a bad, if this can hold, this isn't a bad place for a short-term pop either, right? We got this prior one. We'll look at that here in a second. Blue lug, extreme standard deviation. Let's see here. Let's see what this was. Yeah, I mean, you could pretty much, I'll leave it because the bottom of this hasn't been retested, but I mean, we've traded through this guy, but not really through it, right? Most of the stuff has happened inside of this, so this is still relevant, right? Point of control from the day as well. So yeah, you could keep this as, to help you with your conviction, your thesis. This was yesterday. If we do a snapback, this will be a good area to watch to reshort it around 1770. All right, guys, that's about it. Post as you see. I'm telling you, the more you participate, the more you're going to learn. That's why you're in here, I thought. So I'll post as I see as well. You know your areas. There's really been nothing to grades today, either or natural gas. Gold's just sitting in this major double whammy area, so keep an eye on this. Actually, I think this got an ATR below here. Hold on. ATR is 24, 23.5. It's definitely got. So you could short this market because you got ATR. Actually, I'm supposed to be entering this short right now on my aggressive account. Here's your ATR, here's your retest of the zone. This is just this is a 60 tick zone, but this fails back out of here and we get back below this, this is going to be a good short. I'm going to put this in right now. So I already got smoked on, I can't do 4 because I got to risk this entire zone, but that would be, again, we already had the one Dumb and Dumber. Remember, I was going to get short. I didn't get filled. I got short on my aggressive account. Now you have this one. I'm sorry, double whammy, not Dumb and Dumber. Double whammy, stop runs in the sell ice. So you have one here, one here. Just get your ATR. Here's your retest. If it fails, you're through this one held, and then you're back down through this one. Then we're going to do that, I think. So remember, this is everything is, as far as what should happen. This got through this area, that led to this, led to this. This should hold. If this gets back below here, there's something wrong, and we're going to do that. But as of right now, you've got to say, okay, I'm looking for longs if we can get back above that double whammy area. But if this fails, same thing. Good night. Watch this, and then this will be a failed breakout of this dude. You can make this one big balance now, right? You want to watch this. If it fails, watch this high volume node around 1855. It gets through there, coming back down. Well, this is an important area. All right, guys, I will be back at 2 p.m. Central. See you then.